What's going on, guys? It's Flaws, and in this video, I know sometimes people have problems with throwing flashes because they're worried they're going to blind their teammates, or maybe they're worried that they're going to get peeked while they're throwing the nade out, right? So flashing in Counter-Strike is probably one of the most effective grenades, maybe besides smokes, but flashing for getting kills is definitely the most effective nade, just because if you're in like a tough scenario, right? Like let's say we're trying to take long, we get sight, right? Okay, we get pushed up on sight, we get the plant down. My teammates start dying, but there's someone cat, right? And I'm kind of stuck in this goose position. If it's a 1v1, a flash right here can make the difference between like it being a 50-50 duel, right? Taking this fight, or basically a 90% chance that you're actually going to kill them, depending on, that was a bad flash, but depending on if you full blind the person, right? If I peek out and they're full blind, there's like a 90 to 95% chance that I win this duel peeking out into them, right? So keep that in mind, like that's a huge factor in saving your flashes till late round. But if you're going to be using your flashes early, like this is another pretty key concept. As long as you're not blinding your teammates, there's no like harm in throwing flashes for your teammates if they're peeking different angles. Super common one for long, just throw that flash. If anyone's peeking in from the CT side, they're going to be blinded by that. No one on your team can possibly be blinded if they're coming out here from that flash. So you can kind of just keep bombing that one over. And that just gives your like team a huge advantage. I'd much rather be the one who's getting flashed in than the person holding here with his flash popping behind, right? Another key concept, so like as we talked about earlier, throwing flashes has a couple different like uses. You can either throw them for your teammates, you can throw them for yourself, or you can just kind of use them to delay or make some like noise. So like the first one here, you're throwing them for your teammates. Like maybe you're holding long, you're the one who's like kind of holding this. Your teammate starts to get to like here, and they're starting to cross. Maybe the smoke's down. You can throw flashes like this, right? Although yeah, maybe it's not the best for you to like be looking towards here. If anyone in your team's clearing the site and they're clearing towards ramp, those flashes are going to do a really good job of making it so that any CTs looking at this angle are going to be full blind. And there's no reason for your team to ever be looking here if they're running up the ramp. So kind of think that, like, keep that in mind as you're throwing flashes for your team. Like, where are they going to be looking? Does it make any sense for them to clear, you know, where I'm flashing towards? If you're throwing flashes on the site and it's kind of like just you're throwing it willy-nilly, like, doesn't really matter how you're throwing it, that's going to blind your teammates a lot of the time. And if you're throwing them without any intent, you might actually just get swung on and killed because of it. You might throw a flash like this when your teammates are running out, right? That could blind them. That's like totally fair. But at the same time, like if your teammates are a little bit better than like the average player, if they're just kind of walking here that pops, okay, now they can start to clear out this. Depending how you want to clear out sites, like think about that when you're throwing the flashes. If your team's already cleared an angle, it doesn't really make sense to flash it. If your team's already set up on site, don't be flashing them as well, right? If they have like a good position in the round, it doesn't make sense to throw flashes that are going to blind them, right? Like always keep that in mind. If you're throwing pop flashes, make sure you have good communication with your team. Otherwise, I'd say just don't even throw them, to be honest. Like let's say someone's cat here, right? Okay, they're taking this fight, they get the first kill, they're falling back to the site. You might be the site player, right? And be like, okay, if they're going to be falling back, I can throw a flash to get them out, right? That's another really good use of the flash. So if any T's are trying to trade it, okay, they just saw their teammate die, they're peeking and they get full blinded. They have to stall, they have to wait. You might have time to set up like a smoke or a Molotov to kind of delay them even further past that. But that's why flashes, like, they're so controlling in the game and they can easily win you rounds just by you knowing when to throw them and when to give your team and yourself a huge advantage in taking different fights, right? I could take a 50-50 duel on this person cat, right? But if they have two more teammates behind them, it's really tough to take this fight, take this fight, take this fight. One thing I used to see in Counter-Strike, like Global Offensive versus Counter-Strike 2, is people throwing this pop flash. I don't see it nearly as enough in Counter-Strike 2, where basically if you're crouching, a lot of the times you would think that if you just throw your flash, it would bounce like that and pop kind of like really shallow and behind you. But if, for some reason, if you angle up just a little bit, and like let's say I'm right against this box, okay, I'm taking this fight, get one. If I angle up just a little bit and I start to crouch and walk backwards, the flash is going to pop right over the box like that, and I can peek with it. I don't see this thrown enough. Like, it's actually a really easy skill to learn if you just practice it just a little bit, right? Even on the B site here, right? Okay, let's say I get trapped in a tough spot. They're starting to come out. I can throw a flash like this. It pops, and I peek with it. Anyone that's trying to rush forward is going to notice that the flash is going over the top. They either have to turn, or they have to kind of just, like, eat the flash and then fight through it. But it's just like a really good way to kind of mix it up. You can obviously throw this right click like from here, but there are some boxes where maybe the right click doesn't work, or you can throw a flash like this. then peek with it. But essentially, like the whole idea of that is you're kind of hunkered down and you're in a tough spot, and you want to throw a flash that pops farther in front of you and over a box. So that's kind of how you do that. It's a little gimmicky, but it is like a very effective method. Like let's say you're holding long here, okay, they're starting to come up. You don't really want to just like whip a flash over the top. You can kind of throw something like that. I actually wanted to get that higher, like this. Pops and you can peek with it, right? So anyone in the pit's gonna be blinded. Really gimmicky, really weird, but it is a good mechanic to know. So essentially flashing, what it comes down to is you're flashing for yourself, your teammates, or you're kind of just throwing it for information. So for yourself, that's a good one. You can also throw like tons off the wall of like different walls, right? Pops, you can peek with it. Same thing, okay, they're starting to hit long, throw a flash like this. Quick pop flash for yourself. Okay, peek with it. Tons of different ones on different maps for that. Do it mid as well. There's nothing like too special about it, but it's just a really good way to kind of shut down pushes and rushes and make it so that the teams that are pushing into you have to get slowed down, or you just get free kills from it, right? Same thing goes for over at B. Okay, you're starting to fight. You want to slow them down, throw yourself pop flash just to slow them down. It pops, you can peek, or you can just kind of slow them down with that. Your teammates should be rotating in as that's all going on. Same thing goes for long. And these are all just very easy pop flashes that you can throw, right? Go like that, pops, peek with it, and you can kind of start to fight that rush coming out towards long as well. But that's how you throw pop flashes for yourself, right? Very easy, very quick. You can get caught out doing that, so keep that in mind. Like, you only want to be able to throw that as long as you are pretty positive that like you don't want to hold this for a while. Throw a flash like this, okay, peek with it, spray people down as they're trying to take whatever position you're holding. If you're throwing it for your teammates, like I said earlier, kind of throwing them towards like long, your teammates are starting to hit the site. Try to throw flashes like this as they're running up on the site. That's doing enough, and you're actually helping your team get up to the site and get some map control, even though you're kind of far off and you can't actually help them with the gunfights itself. Another key point of throwing flashes is don't just be whipping them, just like throw them, right? Like, okay, we take site control, yeah, we get it all down. I see a lot of the times people just start throwing these flashes CT, right? And it's like, that's fine if you're gonna do something with it, but like, why not just save that flash for a little bit later into the round and be like, okay, if anyone is CT here, right, and they get full blinded, they can very easily just go like this. Okay, reset. 2 seconds later, and they're doing the exact same thing. I'd much rather just save a flash, right? Okay, my team starts to like work down towards the ramp. I go, oh, I can flash CT for you if you want, and then they're like, yep. Or something like this. Okay, it pops. Your teammates can just peek out. Anyone that's pushing up CT, you might get a free kill there instead. But always be trying to do something with the flash. Don't just be like throwing it to push people back and delay them, unless it's like on the CT side and the rush is coming in, like I said earlier. But I hope this helped you guys out. I know I kind of rambled a little bit there about the different types of flashes and where you can use them effectively, but I hope you guys got something out of this video. If you guys appreciate the video and like what you guys see in here and want some more, please leave a like and comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.